Hello, welcome. My name is Hannah if you don't know me already, and we're just going to run through quite a nice short practice here, something that's going to be great for you to do in the morning just to wake up the body, or any time that you just need that little bit of movement in all directions, in all parts of the body, to help you just free up a little, let the energy start flowing, and hopefully just feel that little bit better. So we're going to start off in a nice comfortable seated position. So just bring yourself to wherever you're most comfortable. Does not have to be a cross-legged position, and you are always welcome to sit yourself up onto something. So just raise the hips with a block, a cushion, a blanket, anything that works for you. So let's just settle into the space for a moment. Close off your eyes. Let's give ourselves that moment to fidget. I always like to fidget for a few minutes first. So don't rush yourself into stillness. Have that little wiggle around, and then eventually settling yourself into that moment of stillness. So we're going to close down the eyes and just start by becoming more aware of your spine. Feeling the length of the base of your spine, that nice natural curve there, lifting all the way up into the crown of the head. And your shoulders just softly drawing back and down to open up and create some space across the chest, across the collarbones. Feel into your natural breath here for a few moments. Nice and easy, no control. Start to notice where that breath sits today. Might be quite high and shallow in the chest. You might feel that it's already that little bit deeper, lower into the ribs, towards the abdomen. We're then going to begin to encourage the breath that little bit deeper. So as you inhale, start to feel the lower ribs, the upper belly expanding. As you exhale, allow it to soften and relax. And as you take this breath here, just start to notice how you feel in your body today. Notice which parts of the body feel really good and comfortable. And then notice where you might be holding some tension and where there might be some little aches or niggles. Just acknowledging that so that you can really listen to your body and work with it through this little bit of movement. So maintaining that nice deep breath. Even inhale, even exhale. We're going to take an inhale and sweep the arms up overhead. Joining the palms, exhale, bring the hands down into the chest. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, bringing them down. One more time, inhale, sweep them up. This time we're going to interlace the fingers, turn the palms up to the ceiling and take a nice long stretch up through the body. You might even allow your shoulders to lift right up to the ears. You might prefer to keep them down. And then take a little bit of movement through the ribs, so just from side to side. You might want to circle that round a couple of times in each direction. Give yourself a moment. And then as the body comes back into neutral, take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, bring the hands into the base of the skull, so into the back of the head, and allow your head to just settle back into the palms. Then opening up that tiny little bit more across your elbows and shoulders. So there's a little lift of the chest. We're going to take a deep breath in, open up, lift a little bit more, take the gaze up. Exhale, you're going to tuck your chin right into your chest and curve forwards, allowing the elbows to soften. Holding here. Nice deep breath. Your next inhale is going to open you up. Exhale, curve. Maybe a little pause. Maybe starting to flow that movement now. Couple of times just to create some space here in the front of the body and then to give a good stretch out along the spine. We're going to take that one more time. So one more inhale to lift and open. And one more exhale. I'm going to inhale and lift all the way up. Exhale, bring those hands softly down to either side of the body. Inhale, we're going to reach that right arm up overhead. Take an exhale to bend towards the left side. Keep both hips rooting down to the floor and then reach through to those right fingertips. We're going to take a nice deep breath here. We're then going to bend into that right elbow and just place the hand into the back of the head. Opening up the chest again, let's inhale. As we exhale, bring that right elbow down towards the left knee. Inhale, open up. Exhale towards the knee. Inhale, open. Exhale one more time, close the chest off. Inhale, we're going to open it up. Pause it here for that breath out. And then inhale, extend through that right arm. And you might find there's that little bit more length and space through the side of the body. You take a full breath in here. And inhale, bring it all the way back up to sit tall. We're going to inhale, left arm up. Exhale into that side bend. So keep connected through that left hip to the floor. Not forcing this too much, just feeling into the side of the body. Take that full breath. And then bending that left elbow to place the hand into the back of the head. Use your inhale to open up. Exhale, close off the chest, elbow to knee. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, we're closing off one more time. Maybe have a little wiggle, bit of a move there. And then inhale to open up the body. Using that next breath in to extend that left arm. And you may find there's a little bit more space now. Full breath. And then inhaling all the way back up to sit nice and tall. We're going to take the hands behind us, interlace the fingers. If you can, keep your palms touching together as we extend the arms, hands down towards the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Inhale, puff the chest, and the gaze lifts just a little. Take a nice full breath. Maybe seeing if you can just lift the hands a tiny bit further away from the body. And then gently release the hands. We're going to bring the legs all the way around and make our way onto all fours. So coming into tabletop. Bring your knees underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders, spreading into those fingers nice and wide. And just start off with a little sway of your hips from side to side. Just moving gently, keeping that breath nice and deep to the belly, nice and even here. And then we're going to change that and rock it forwards and backwards. So inhale forwards, exhale back. Inhale forwards, exhaling back. And this movement becomes as big or as small as you're comfortable with. So it might be that you want to rock the hips all the way back to the heels. And then coming as far forwards as you can to just stretch out through the wrists. Couple more times. And then on the next time that you inhale forwards, we're then going to begin to turn that into a circle. So chest circling around the wrist. If you can, inhale as the chest comes forward to the front of your circle. Exhale as the chest comes back. Inhaling forwards, exhaling back. Taking about 3 circles in each direction. So changing sides when you're ready. Just beginning to move through the joints, warming up here. And then settling that back into our neutral tabletop. Your next inhale is going to guide the belly down and the gaze forwards, draw the shoulder blades back. Exhale, belly lifts, chin to chest. Inhale, belly down, gaze forwards. Exhale, belly lifts, chin to chest. Couple more times, flow through. As you move through this, you might start to allow it to free up a little, maybe some more movement through other parts of the body. Couple more times, just being aware of the spine, creating that little bit of space. Good. And then we are going to inhale, belly down, gaze forwards. Last time, exhale, belly lifts, chin to chest. And then release through to a child's pose. Big toes together, knees open wide, and settle yourself down. Forehead is going to rest to the floor. Take a nice deep breath here. Keep your arms and your shoulders soft. I like to have a little rock out through the hips. Usually release a little bit deeper and remove some of that tension. You might find you want to take a nice big sigh here. Let it all go. So deep breath in through the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. And then when you feel ready, we're going to move this up through our tabletop and bring it into our downward facing dog. So the hands just an inch forwards from the shoulders, tucking the toes and taking the hips up and back into that downward facing dog. So nice deep bend in the knees to begin so that you can avoid this shape in the body. We want to bend those knees, pull the hips back away from your hands and feel that length through the spine. Take a deep breath here, press into your fingers, press into your palms. We're going to exhale, long breath out. Then begin to find a little bit of movement. So maybe just taking that walk out through the feet. Maybe allowing yourself to move into your hips or your shoulders, anywhere that feels good. Lovely. Give it a couple more moments. And then as we come back to stillness in our down dog, a little bend into both knees, but maybe a tiny bit straighter through the legs this time, so that you're driving the heels towards the floor. Now it's more just the energy of that drive downward rather than trying to touch your heels to the ground. Having that little bend in the knees still gives you that sensation through the backs of the legs, but allows you to keep your spine nice and long. We're going to take a nice full breath. And then keeping that bend, we're going to start to walk the hands towards the feet. So you're pushing the weight back into the feet. Keep those knees bent. And you might find your tummy, your belly just rests into the thighs. And you can allow the head to soften all the way forwards. Arms completely relaxed, either just hanging down or maybe taking your ragdoll and holding opposite elbows. Release out through the back of the neck. The head is really nice and heavy. And we're going to take a little sway from side to side. feel the weight of the body pull down, create that space through your body, through your spine. Maybe the head has a little nod, a little shake. And then using a breath in, start to roll all the way up and sweep the arms out and up overhead. Bring the palms together and exhale, draw the hands down in towards the chest. We're going to take a half sun salutation. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge forwards, bend the knees as and when you need to. Palms up to the shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. Long spine. Exhale, softening over bent knees. Inhale up to stand, sweeping the arms, touch the palms, and exhale, hands into the chest. Same movement. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hinging forwards. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale to release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms to the chest. This time moving a little further. So inhale, sweep those arms. Exhale, hinging forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, long body. Exhale, release down, hands come to the floor. So bend into the knees. Slowly start to walk the hands forwards until you come into your plank pose. So you can bring your knees down to the floor and have that long line through the body, or keeping those knees lifted. Push into your palms, push the floor away from you. Take that nice deep breath in. And we're going to exhale, lower the knees, and then lower the body all the way down to the ground. Engage the back of your body by pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor, and imagine pressing your pelvis forwards into the ground. So engage the glutes. Elbows hug into the body, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Inhale, lifting to a baby cobra. Exhale, releasing down. And again, inhale to lift. Exhale, release. Keep the back of the body engaged. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, releasing down. Use your hands. Push the hips back towards the heels. Keep the knees narrow. Keep the arms extended as the hips sink back into a child's pose. Head softens. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, lift up onto the knees, tuck the toes, and exhale, hips lift into your downward facing dog. This time maybe there's a little bit less bend in the knees, that drive of the heels might be a little deeper. Keep the ribs pulling in towards each other so we're not puffing the chest and dipping the chest down to the ground, keeping that spine in a nice long line. When you're ready, we're going to step forwards as many steps as you need to come towards your hands. Soften over those legs. And then inhale all the way up to stand, sweeping the arms up and exhaling the palms into the chest. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to release. Inhale, right. It's going to take a nice big step back. Give it a wiggle if you need to as we lower that right knee down and softly release the toes. Find length through to the crown of your head, zipping up through the low belly. And then we're going to walk the hands up onto that left thigh. So space across your chest, collarbones open, shoulder blades drawing down. Nice breath here. Little sink through the hips so we open up into the hip flexor. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. You might choose to allow the gaze in the chest to lift a little, creating that little bit more space if you're ready for it. Your arms can be as they are lifted. You might prefer to open up And take a bend at the elbows, creating this cactus shape. One more breath. We're going to then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Press into your right hand. Inhale, reaching up through the left. Take a full breath here. Push the ground away so that we open up into that shoulder. And then the option to tuck the toes and lift the back knee off. Taking another breath here. Or if your right knee is still to the floor, you're going to be bringing that hand down now and then lifting the back knee. From here, we're going to walk both hands towards our right foot, so towards that back foot. As we start to walk, the legs start to straighten and the hips lift up towards the ceiling, feet come into parallel. The body is about halfway. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to hinge it forwards. There's a little bend in those knees. And come into our wide-legged forward fold. Nice deep breath. We're going to keep the body quite heavy, so your arms relaxed or holding opposite elbows, but the intention of your tailbone lifts towards the ceiling. So although the knees can be bent, you're still straight enough there to feel that sensation, that stretch through the backs of the legs. Let's take another breath. Good. We're going to place the hands into the floor. Lift the body up halfway as you inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back towards your left foot. You're bending into the left knee as your toes turn to face the top of your mat. The back foot heel lifts. Press into your palms as you inhale. And exhale, pull it back into a downward facing dog. We're taking a nice deep breath. Inhale, we're stepping the right foot forwards. Exhale, join the left or just walk towards the hands. Inhale, all the way up, sweeping those arms up overhead. And exhale, the palms into the chest. So repeating that on the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhaling, hands come down to the floor. Inhale, stepping your left foot back. So take your time and maybe wiggle the foot so the hips can lower a little bit more, and then bring that left knee down, releasing the toes. Find length through the spine, little zip up through the low belly, and then walking the hands up to your right thigh. Let's open up the chest without puffing the ribs forward. So just that squeeze back and down of your shoulder blades. Long breath. And then you might choose to inhale, lift the arms, maybe with that slight opening up of the chest. If you are lifting the chest, a little bit more engagement through the glutes. Those arms can stay lifted, or you can open up if that's more comfortable across your shoulders. You might still be here. Wherever we are, take another breath. We're going to then inhale and exhale the hands down. Take the weight across to your left hand. Inhale, reach up through the right, raise up to the ceiling with those fingertips. Push the ground away with your left hand. And then the option here to tuck those back toes, lift the knee. Maybe holding in your twist here. If the knee is still lowered, bring that right hand down and then raise the back foot. If the hand's raised, inhale, exhale, bring it down. Deep breath in. And then we are going to send those hips up. I nearly went ahead of myself. And walk the hands towards our left toes. So we're turning towards the left side of the mat. So your feet are in parallel. Body's lifted about halfway. Take your breath in. Exhale, hinge it forwards. Little bend through the knees, coming into that wide-legged forward fold one more time. Nice deep breath. Again, have the intention of your tailbone lifting up. There might be a little bit more space here this time. One more breath. Good. We're going to inhale, lift the body up a little higher, bend into the knees. As you walk the hands towards your right foot, the right toes turn to face forwards. We bend into that right knee and lift the heel of the back foot. Inhale, exhale, pull it back into your down dog. And take a nice deep breath here. A little wiggle, maybe some movement. And then we're going to inhale, step that left foot forwards. Exhale, join the right, so walking to the hands. And we're going to stay with the feet about hip distance wide. And then release the body all the way over those legs. Take a nice full breath. Good. Using the hands to the floor for some support, just softly bend into the knees, bring those hips down, and then step the hands behind you to sit all the way onto the floor. Extend the legs out in front. We're going to reach those arms forwards. Take a breath in. And slowly roll it all the way down to the ground. And eventually coming onto the back. Take a nice deep breath. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. Take a little squeeze in. Take a little rock from side to side. Good. Whilst you're on your back, come into stillness. Open up the arms at shoulder height if you've got the space. If you haven't, maybe bend at the elbows. We're going to pull the knees away from the body just enough so that the knees stack over the hips, and then send the feet into line with your knees. So a nice 90-degree angle here. Use a little bit of support from your core, and we're going to gently allow both legs to come over towards the right side. Now, I personally like to give my shoulders a little shift once those knees land, so they don't feel quite so pulled. Once you're comfortable, we are going to close off the eyes for a moment here. You might find that you'd like to turn your head to look towards the left side, allowing that twist to move through the entire spine. Soften into it here. Taking another breath. And if your head is turned, just bring it back up to look towards the ceiling. Now you can take one leg at a time, or engaging the belly, we can lift both knees together. If you've shifted your shoulders, you might just need to adjust to make sure that your spine's in line. And then taking the knees all the way across to the left, having that little shift if it's needed. Closing down the eyes. Maybe the head turns to look towards the right hand side. Taking a few breaths. Feeling that little bit heavier on your last breath here. Good. So either one leg at a time. We're engaging that core. Lift the knees off the floor. Shift your shoulders and pull the knees in towards the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And we are going to release that down into constructive rest here today. So bring the feet to the floor. We're going to open up the feet about hip distance wide, and then let your knees gently rest together. Bring the shoulders down away from your ears, flatten the shoulder blades to the floor. We're going to pop the hands onto the tummy. If you'd rather, arms by your sides and palms turned to face upwards. Back of the neck is nice and long and eyes close. You're going to relax control over the breath. And we're just going to take a few moments of Shavasana here today. So allow your body to begin to let go. Let go of all control over your breath. And start to soften and relax through the whole of your legs. Relax your pelvis. Soften your spine, your belly, your chest. Relax the whole of your arms, your shoulders, your collarbones. Soften your jaw, your face, your head, the whole of your body relaxed, heavy and held. And then take a nice deep breath into the belly. Come back to your body, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, turn your head side to side. And just bring the feet towards each other, keeping the knees bent. Inhale, right arm overhead. And exhale to roll onto your right hand side. Rest your head onto the upper arm. Take a breath here. And then use the hands to gently press yourself into a nice comfortable seated position. Keeping the eyes closed or the gaze nice and soft. Palms turned upwards as the hands rest comfortably. And with a nice long spine, take another deep breath into the belly. And then bring the palms to touch at your chest. Connect your thumbs in against your heart center and bow your head forwards in gratitude for your mind, your body, and your practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for practicing with me. If you liked this practice, please like and please subscribe. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.